If they do that, the Cougars will be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call them by Slamma Jamma.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant.
Down Dean Connors. Found some daylight. Found the end zone. Touchdown, Houston.
Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their seventh Final Four.
Go Cougs! Let's go! It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Welcome into another edition of Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family. We're coming off the heels of a 76-54 victory for the 10th ranked Houston Cougars over the Cincinnati Bearcats. As we are live from the Fertitta Center, Kris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review will join us here shortly. So he'll pop up on the screen here shortly as he sets up. But first and foremost, Dayon Dunlap on this Saturday afternoon. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing well. Good, cool W. I'm doing really, really good. How about yourself? How was the atmosphere?
Oh, the atmosphere was great today. A good showing. That were loud. The students are always going to bring the energetic. There was a lot of, big stars that came out and showed out tonight. Houston Rockets guard Fred VanVleet was here, and then one of the all-time quarterbacks for the Houston Cougars, Case Keenum, was here in attendance. UH fans love Case Keenum, so every time he's in the building, that's a little extra juice. And ultimately, Houston looked good. It was a real, true team effort in this game for UH. Looking at the final stats, Milo Uzan led the team in scoring with 16 points on an efficient 7-12 shooting, 2 of 5 from behind the three-point line. He had 5 assists to only 1 turnover. And it was a flurry of players that had 13 points in this game. Chris Gardner had 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, 3 rebounds, no turnovers. Emmanuel Sharp had 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists as well. And so did Isaiah Harwell, 13 points and 3 rebounds to go along, and just top to bottom. Kingston Flemings, 7 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. JoJo Tugler stayed out of foul trouble, 7 points, 6 rebounds in this game. And Mercy Miller came in early, had some really solid, good minutes for Houston. He also had 7 points on an efficient 3 of 4 shooting and knocked down the lone three-pointer he had from the corner in the first half, and he also got 3 rebounds. So a true, clean performance. And with that win, Houston now improves to 19-2 on the season, 7-1 in Big 12 play. And there's a lot of positive things to talk about from this game here tonight.
Yeah, I think let's start with Milos. You kind of talked about him at the jump start, and he played well. Just his pace of the game, and he's been putting together consistent performances now. And I think his ability to play make is what really has been standing out to me of recent. Because he just routinely makes the right play. And he has ability to get downhill with his crossover and his hesitation. So when he gets downhill and at a good pace to be able to get that floater off, I think it opens it more for him to be able to make plays even more getting downhill than with the shooters that we have. Before shooting the ball, I think he's consistently been knocking down open shots. And during the broadcast, they talked about his willingness to make big shots. And they said Coach Sampson said that he's his willingness to fail or not afraid to fail, something along that line. I can't. I'm paraphrasing, but it was good to see him. I think he came out, really got it going. And then Chris and Eck. That pick and pop. We've been clamoring for it a lot here at LRC, and there's a lot of ghost screens, faking the screen, and just quickly popping. And his jump shot looks good. So it's good to see him knock that down as well.
Absolutely, and we're going to have comments from Cincinnati head coach Wes Miller here later on in the show where he talks about that pick and pop and really how deadly, and it puts teams between a rock and a hard spot, because if they switch, Chris and Eck, if they're putting a smaller guard on them, can simply shoot over any smaller guard, and you can also put the ball on the floor and make a move. If they don't, it just forces defense to have to react and puts them in a tough position as we welcome in Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. We're both live from inside of the Fertitta Center following Houston's 76-54 victory. Kris, before we hop on and talk about this game, real quickly, I want to shout out today's sponsors on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. This is LRC presented by the Saxenian Family, so big thank you to Steve Saxenian. LRC, the original Houston postgame show after each and every single men's basketball and football game, and all
game out a little bit. So we're gonna see different guys step up. Isaiah Harwell played, was productive. Mercy Miller got a chance and took advantage of those minutes as well. And I want to say this, Coach kind of touched on it a little bit during the official postgame presser, but he had like a little media gaggle in the hallway. And he said it again about the players being tired. And he made a point after the TCU game, or the second half of the TCU game. He decided that he wanted to start giving more guys minutes, and that includes Mercy Miller. And he said, for everybody wondering out there, he said Mercy had not done anything wrong. He wasn't playing because coach was mad at him or anything like that. But he's going to give Mercy some minutes. Mercy has earned those minutes, and he's going to give Mercy a chance. And Mercy did well, made the foul on the jump shooter, 3-point shooter. But overall, Mercy played well, scored also. So the injury to Chase may be a blessing in disguise for Mercy.
And he made the most out of his opportunity today in those 17 minutes.
He did, and he scored. You can see his offensive skill set. Isaiah played well as well. Khalifa played well. Coach Sampson put him in the game early. Khalifa played well, and I forgot this. We forget Khalifa is like he has not been in the program a long time. Okay, but he also came and he was injured first with the surgery, and coach told us in the hallways. I didn't know the specifics of this. The back surgery, he had a disc removed from his back. So he had that issue. And then, of course, he had 2 weeks with the knee injury when Isaiah, accidentally rolled into him on a missed shot. So I set him back some more. So Isaiah, Khalifa, those guys were dealing with injuries, and they've been behind. They're just, and JoJo was out for months, the whole summer, and wasn't cleared to do anything until October. So JoJo's timing is off. JoJo gained weight because he could not practice. So all of those things.
He lost the weight when he got his wisdom teeth removed.
But he lost because of that, not because of practice. So
been all over the place.
He's been all over the place. So hopefully they're getting. I think those three guys are probably in November, where the team overall is heading in February.
There's a lot of great comments that came out of this game, and I just saw the tweet, and the athletic director, Andy Yanez, made the announcement after the game that they are going to put Kelvin Sampson in the Houston Hall of Honor, which, if I'm not, is that, Kris, is that what they have outside of the Alumni Center, or am I confusing my Hall of Honors?
It's a great question. I'm not sure. Mr. Yanez, he said it so quickly and so briefly, he didn't provide any details, and I forgot to bring it up. And all of us forgot to bring it up in post-game. So hopefully they'll provide more details about that. And I did speak to Andy Yanez in the hallway before the press conferences began, and we're going to agree on our schedule. I'm going to interview him during my week off from school, February 9th, week of that. So probably February 9th or 10th, interview Andy Yanez. We'll talk about a few different things here on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube.
Jeez, what a great, just looking at these comments, good to see Isaiah Harwell, who's another player that played really well today for Houston. Like you mentioned, Isaiah Harwell, when his shot is going, you can tell it's a night and day difference just in terms of the overall impact he has on the game, because he was active on the defensive end. He was battling for rebounds, and even though he only came away with 3 rebounds, there was a lot of times where he went up there, had a tip, and it allowed another Houston Cougar to come away with the defensive rebound.
Isaiah's got to do, he's learning. I mean, he's a freshman. he's learning. He's allowing his missed shots to impact his defense, and that's something he can't do. There are different ways to help your team and to impact the team. So until your shot starts falling, so he did a better job of that. Better job rebounding the last couple of games when his shot wasn't falling. Tonight his shot fell. So that's another positive going forward. 7-1 in Big 12, 19 and 2 overall, and still getting better.
Yep.
And we'll take that, getting better.
Definitely need Isaiah to make shots.
Yeah, Crabtree's comment, that's something that Coach Calvin Sampson touched on in his post-game presser about getting more bench production today. Isaiah Harwell, Sacco, Miller all did a good job, need to be more consistent there. Javier last year and Malik Wilson were very consistent. If UH can get that going into March, again, a very, very high ceiling for this team that's 19-2 and still has February and March to improve.
Agreed, and it's different freshmen different players take a little bit longer to develop and get comfortable in the system and in their skin and college basketball. And I think we're seeing that from different players for the Cougs. But the ceiling is still high offensively for this team. You saw the defense, 3 shot clock violations they forced again on the Bearcats. And Coach Sampson, the staff, was hyped about some of the defensive lockdowns they had today. So that was good. But as Crabtree says, and as we've said, and as our smart viewers know and have said as well, got to be consistent at it. Got to be consistent and not have the slippage when you bring in guys from off the bench. Don't want to have slippage. And there was no slippage today.
And I think those guys some of those guys need to get consistent minutes because it's so up and down. And I guess just to the point of Coach Sampson saying that he's gonna, let guys play more consistent minutes. Maybe you get more consistent production because it's just only really two players got consistent minutes off the bench, which that'd be Hartwell. So it's good to see him finally knock down some shots and look confident in doing so. I think with his length and his disruptiveness on the defensive end, he can just ignite the offense because if looking at the stat line, they caused 19 turnovers and got 26 points off of those turnovers. And I think Isaiah can add to that as he does in the bench production. And so I think just continue to let those guys play. Sometimes maybe through playing through mistakes, but it's hard to really say because post games I just kind of feel like Coach Sims is going to play the starters or not really rely on that bench. But to build those confidence up, I think that's important.
Ultimately, it's going to come down. He's going to play to the players that he trusts. And the way that you earn the trust is to do what Mercy Miller did today, what Isaiah Harwell did today, and that's play well and make the most out of the opportunity when you are given those chances.
And Coach Sampson said it, players earn their minutes in practice. So we're not in practice all the time. Hell, a lot. We very rarely get to see practice. All we get to see is, shoot around and making free throws here and there, basic drills, if that. So if guys aren't getting it done in practice, that's on them. If that's Khalifa, if that's whoever it is, I'm picking on Khalifa, any player, they got to earn it in practice. And if they haven't done that, if they have a good game, but then followed up with a poor practice, then that's on them. So that's where the consistency also needs to take hold. You got to do your job in practice consistently and not just once a month.
Man, it's good to see that they announced Coach Sampson is going to the Hall of Honor or whatever it is. Put his name up in the rafters behind Andy because you just can't take for granted what we're seeing, the consistency of Houston because it's no guarantee that when he leaves, we're going to continue with this dominance and with this type of success. And so being able to give him his flowers while he's still going, I think that's really important. And I'm grateful to be a part of this generation of Samson era and during this era of Houston basketball because it's not guaranteed.
Great.
It is not guaranteed. And so I'm very, very astounded on that. And looking forward to Coach Sampson to keep going as long as he wants.
And that's not a slight at Kellen. It's just what Coach Kelvin Sampson has done as head coach that is hard to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Kellen, when he does take over the reins as head coach, the team may, instead of going 35-5, the team may go 22-12 or something, a couple years here and there, whatever. Still win, still be legit contenders in the Big 12, all those things. But so Dayon is correct. Let's appreciate what we are seeing and have seen through these 12 years. And this year's team is still getting better.
With that being said, let's hear what head coach Kelvin Sampson had to say following Houston's 76-54 victory over Cincinnati.
Can't hear it, Andy.
While I try to figure out the audio, let's welcome in Fluff McKiver joining us with Elm City Elite. Fluff, how are you doing on this Saturday afternoon, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, man. You know, I had to double back, try to get the game in order. And after our game, we won. We ended up winning by a good amount, and had to go and check on my Cougars after that on the ride to the hotel, and just try, jack of all trades today.
So are you on the road?
I'm on the road. I'm on the road. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Did you get a chance to see any of the game today, Cougs game?
Yes, yes,
What do you think?
yes, yes. I think on the way back, I had somebody driving, but I think that it's just one of those games. I won't say Kingston struggled. I think it's just a funny game. We played them already. It's just a little tricky game. I like to see Ools being a little more aggressive. That was good. Um, the biggest thing in it, and it might be something I'm dragging, but I really just think in a big game we need Tugler to rebound that basketball more than that. I just, I think that we're a committee rebounding team. I think with Roberts being gone, I think that we have to all rebound. But I want Tugler to be a little more tenacious on that glass. I seen Mercy get in there in 17 minutes, 7 points, 3 assists. I see Harrell's back. I can't get his name right. Harwell is back.
You got it.
Overall, we'll take the win. You know.
Let me try. Let's see if this audio works now. Let's hear what Kelvin Sampson had to say following Houston's victory.
20 points in the first half. What was the key there?
Our discipline. Being connected. Everything starts with our point of attack. And then it flows down from there. Cincinnati's at their best. They're really good at short rolls and then their long rolls. When we watched it against Iowa State, they were excellent in all those games. They haven't played them. We watched it against Iowa State. They were excellent. State's you get better, you get worse. There is no about the same. So we're proving here, guys, that when we go in the game, our defense is not taking a dip like it did a month ago. It's kind of what I expected. November is exactly what I expected. December, January. I think we lost 1 month. I think we lost one game in the month of November, right? We lost one game in the month of January, right?
Go ahead, Joseph, in the middle.
Gentlemen, the bench correction, getting Isaiah and Mercy, is that Just a moment to get in. It was by design that you wanted to try to get them early and.
Yeah, I would say by design. Trying to be better defensively in the second half. None of these guys should be playing 38, 39 minutes. And I felt Mercy and we didn't have any drop off tonight. A lot of sometimes when I substitute, you guys can't see it, but I can. There's a drop off. And you get better in practice in this program. You have to earn the right to play the game, but you have to get better in practice. And Mercy found a shooter, which is no-no, but he was in the right position most of the time. So we'll be able now to take his minutes and sit down with him and correct his mistakes. I thought his focus, attention to detail, discipline. Anytime you turn a team over 19 times and you only have 4, that means your team is locked into playing the way that to our identity. We're in the 370 teams. We're in the first or second fewest turnovers committed, but we're usually top 5 in the nation every year. It's always been something we've been good at. Is we focus on singles. Kingston tried to fire a grand slam across the court, so where that got it. Really, really pleased tonight with Isaiah. And on the night when Kingston's struggling with fatigue, just tired. I don't know if I've ever had a team use a day off more than this did. It started really in the Arizona after the Arizona State. It's been a while since we've been able to rest. So last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, before then you turn out to play 11 o'clock in the morning. So it's been a long 7 or 8 days, but really, really thrilled with Milos' attention to detail.
So once again, that was Houston Cougars head coach Kelvin Sampson post-game. Real high praise for the defense that Houston was able to execute. And then you heard towards the tail end of that clip right there, the attention to detail that Milos Uzan had in this game. It was a solid, strong performance by Uzan, like I mentioned at the top of the show. 16 points, 5 assists, only 1 turnover, and did a good job of just dissecting the Cincinnati Bearcats defense.
And he was in the right spots defensively. I mean, it was just plenty of times where rotation or something, he was in the right spot to be where he's supposed to be, really contest the shot with the right hand and all those different little things that we don't really highlight. But he did have a great sense of detail today, and he played well. I mean, really with his playmaking, knocking down, catch and shoot opportunities. And he does that. It really takes us like going to another level. And interesting to him to talk about fatigue, specifically with Kingston. Mm.
Yeah, Fluff, what did you think? First, anything that might have stood out from those comments from head coach Kelvin Sampson, and also the way that Milos Uzan played today against Cincinnati?
Like I said when I first got on, I think Milos is the key. I think we talked about it a little while ago where I said that let's not forget he made that amazing pass first back that came back to him for the layup to win the game. So he's battle tested. We might want this, we might want that from him, but if he's aggressive and effective, I think that gives us a chance of making that run that we all want to make. So Miles is key. With these 16 points, 3 rebounds, couple assists. That what we have.
I think he had 5 assists.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And
Five
Kingston had
So,
six.
assists, 5 assists, and, and only one turnover for Milos. And Kingston, even though he didn't necessarily score as efficiently as we have seen him within the past week, also had 6 assists in this game against Cincinnati.
yes, and if we could figure out how to get all three of our perimeter guys rolling at the same time, that's when we're going to be really dangerous. Like somebody's a little off out of those three a lot of games, and if we could figure out how to get them all rolling, it's good. But that is rolling. 7 points, 6 assists. Would he have one turnover too, Andy?
Kingston had 3 tonight.
3 turnovers. You know what I mean? So if we could get that to 15 and 6, and Sharp with 15, and Ooze with 16, on that'd be that'd be hard to beat. Usually, it's only two guys on the perimeter that are able to really explode. We have three.
And I think the case, we kind of said that last year when it was LJ, E-Man, and Milos. If we could get all three of them
We said
together.
that a
So,
long time, Chris, going
right.
back to
So, yeah.
Jamal, Marcus, and
Yeah.
Tremont. Like we
Yeah.
had a long.
But, I mean, it's a team sport. So if I'm good with those three guys getting rolling for the last six games of the season. If that's how they
Right.
do it, that's fine.
And
That's
shouts
fine.
to LJ Cryer.
So yeah.
Shouts to Cryer. Really fighting. I see him out there with Golden State. I seen him the other night. I said, okay, baby. We roll. He's still fighting, doing his thing. Shouts to him, man. Shouts to him. True alumni.
And the Bearcats were without two players. Let's see. Sean Abayev was injured, rolled his ankle, didn't make the trip with the team. This is all info that Coach Miller told us during his press conference. And then big fella Mustafa Thiam rolled his ankle. So, and then Sensei Harris also didn't make the trip. So they were without two guys who played against the Cougs the first time. And then their big fella got injured during the game. So that adds to how they looked. But they shot 50% in the second half. So,
Right.
Cougs still pulled away and won by 22. So better team won. And it comes to it. I think Coach Miller probably is done at Cincinnati, but his guys did not quit. They're shorthanded. They didn't quit in the second half. The defensively, they caused Houston problems in the first half for first part of the first half, first 10 minutes.
First 10 minutes, Houston was really struggling to score, and everything that the Cougars shot was very, very well defended and contested.
So, Cincinnati is a good defensive team, but Houston's defense played better today. We touched on slippage in the previous games, 2 games. It was more Houston Cougars defense today. Now let's see what they do Wednesday against UCF, and then going forward as February starts tomorrow. But for Houston, UCF is great on the road, and UCF has won here in this building, previous years. So it's an early start on Wednesday. Keep that in mind as well. But UCF is playing well, and they're coming off a big home win over Texas Tech.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect segue to see the scoreboard around the Big 12 so far. Like you mentioned, Chris, I mean, UCF is having a hell of a season. They're 17-4 overall, 6-3 their
Sleepers.
conference record, and yeah, big time win. It is very hard to beat UCF in Orlando. They have a great atmosphere. Arizona is in action currently. They're on top 56-50 over Arizona State with 12:39 left in the second half. And obviously Houston came away with the win over Cincinnati. Baylor and West Virginia are playing. Coming up here shortly at 3 p.m. Central Time, and then the big headline 3:30 p.m. Central Time, Kansas, BYU, and then Oklahoma State and Utah wrap up the day's actions here on Saturday. That the scores around the Big 12, or at least the big games around the Big 12.
I want to say this, and Chris knows this from being a Cougar lifer. UCF has always been tough to play at. Like
Yep.
UCF is like a real college atmosphere. Like you think you're good, but our team is better than you vibe. It doesn't matter what your record is. You know what I mean? So I just want to say UCF always had great fan support at their university. And UCF being Texas Tech goes back to what we talk about with the Big 12 being the best conference in America. I mean, look at that. That shows how much it's going to be competitive every night in the Big 12.
And it's how difficult it is to win on the road in the Big
Yeah.
12. Or
Who you got tonight, though?
any good conference, it's tough to win on the road in conference play.
Who you got, Kris?
That game's in the field house, right? That's at Kansas.
Yes.
Um,
It's at Kansas.
Yeah, I'll pick Kansas.
You got
yep.
Kansas? By what, 5?
I think it'd be close. I'm kind of curious to see how AJ DeBonta does against another defensive team. He struggled for him, against
Right.
good Big 12 defenses. So I want to see what he does against Kansas and their physical defense as well. And I'm assuming Mr. Peterson, this game is big enough for him to play. So
He's really, really good, though, man. I'm like,
he is.
I never seen nobody able to do it like this. It's man.
He's talented, and one person I trust say, Kris, he is really injured. Other people tell me, man, I doubt it. But
I don't think he's injured. I just want for the record.
I don't either.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
think
he's injured.
it's load management.
Low management.
Well put. I found the stats. UCF out rebounded Texas Tech today 35-23, and outscored them 21-5 in second chance points. That sound familiar?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's usually what U of H does to other teams, but that's what Texas Tech did to U of H last week.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying, Andy. We're not tenacious on that glass this year. Like, we win the battle a lot of times, but it's not like, I don't know, we're not pumping enough fear on that
It's not
glass.
dominant.
Like,
It's not dominant like it has been in years past.
Right. I'm not saying we're not doing good, but I just think that I don't know if the guards need to rebound more. I don't know.
They do.
But
They do.
yeah. Because you know what it is? And this is for any level of basketball is a lot of times if I'm the big and I'm boxing out, I'm the big and I'm boxing out. So somebody like, yo, Tugler, get the rebound. Those long little rebounds that are like at the foul line, in between, in the dunker spot, in the middle of right under the foul line, maybe right in the middle of the foul line and 3-point line, the wing. Those are those rebounds that we're missing a lot of times. And it's basically a rebound and a 50-50 ball. You know what I mean? So it's like we just gotta, I don't know what we gotta do, but we gotta we gotta do it by committee more. We got a little spoiled with Roberts and those guys. We gotta do it by committee. Everybody gotta get in there and rebound.
Well, and that's something that Houston's teams have been known for in the past, where maybe they're not the leading rebounder, but their rebounder 2, 3 are their guards when it comes to top 3 in rebounding. And
right,
there've been a lot of nights throughout the season where the rebounding numbers aren't as strong as they have been in years past from the guards.
That's part of it. The defensive rebounding is the biggest issue. Offensive rebounding is maybe not as big of an issue. They do tip outs, but sometimes this team shoots better, so there's less misses this year. The defensive rebounding is the problem. They're not finishing out their defensive possession with the rebound. And UCF had 2 guys get double-digit rebounds today against Texas Tech. So it's going to be a challenge. But so far, when an opponent has won a big game, like West Virginia beat Kansas, and then face Houston in the next game, Houston was locked in.
Yeah.
When opponents have come in after a big win, Houston has been locked in and taking care of business. We'll see if they do the same thing on Wednesday against UCF.
Fluff, have you ever played with a big that can shoot, stretch the floor like Kris can? Kind of talk about what that means for a guard and how that opens up the floor for you when you got a big like pick and pop like Kris.
You want to talk about at University of Houston or pros?
Just kind of both from your experience to us, the
Well,
college.
Kris, no. Are we talking mid range or 3-ball?
3 ball.
Well, Dayon
Okay,
Dunlap was a
both, both,
target for
both.
me. When I was at the University of Houston, he could stick it. Jamar Thorpe, it's a combination. It's a combination of being athletic and being able to shoot. So for Kris, I love that he can shoot it, but I want him to be a little more tenacious once he put that thing on the floor and then close out. I think he needs to be a little more aggressive on those plays when he catches it that way. But it definitely opens the floor for the guard because it takes the big out of the paint. If it's a big that's popping and they can really make it, it takes the big out the paint to help when the guard is driving and trying to get in there and make things happen.
And that's the thing that Coach Wes Miller said during his post-game press conference was that if Kris starts knocking down and becoming a legit three-point threat, legit option that teams have to scout for and prepare for, that's another thing to worry about when you're facing Houston.
That's the perfect segue. Let's hear exactly what Wes Miller had to say following Houston's 76-54 victory over Cincinnati. Give me a second again. But in the meantime, I'll take this opportunity to plug in our sponsors. This is Rage Coogs presented by the Saxenian Family. Big thank you to Steve Saxenian for being the primary sponsor of not only this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, but he has been all season long. Big thank you to him for supporting LRC, the original Houston postgame show after each and every single men's basketball and football game. And also a big shout out to Star Pizza with multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game, or deliver it to your location, especially if you're inside the loop like they did to Kris and I here tonight inside of the Fertitta Center. So big thank you to Mike and Jennifer Pittman for feeding us here after Houston's big win over Cincinnati.
And
with
Kenneth
that being
Bozeman as
said,
well, Andy. And Kenneth Bozeman, pizza for him too.
and Coog TV. So big shout out to Star Pizza. With that being said, let's see if the audio works this time. Well, let's see. Well,
it pushes it out to that 12-point lead at halftime. As much
I hear
as
it now.
anything, screener, like
Yeah.
pick and roll
Let's
screener.
see.
Picking, it looked like they did a lot of pick and pops, especially in the first
That's
half.
what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they picked and popped him up in the middle third a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to switch him because he's such a good offensive rebounder. And so you switch and we have small guards, so you switch a small guard onto him, that's going to be a pretty significant mismatch, especially when the shot goes up. And, I don't think I'm saying anything nobody knows, but if they see a switch, they do a pretty good job of isolating and attacking the switch one-on-one with the guard on the big, which means that you're going to get isolated on the backboard trying to box out him. So it's hard guy to switch. So if he shoots it to that extent from three, that's something that everybody that plays them moving forward is going to have to prepare for and talk about how they want to defend.
Hold up as we experience some technical difficulties. Let me see here. There we go. Pop back on the screen.
I thought I lost y'all, man.
No, it was just brief technical difficulties. But again, Wes Miller, high praise for not only the Houston program, but really Chris Sinak and the type of talent that he is for the Houston Cougars. And something that he touched on, not only when it comes to Sinak, but something that this Houston team does well top to bottom, is when they find a mismatch, when they find a matchup they think they can exploit, they hunt it down and they pursue it. And we've seen it over the years. Tonight was no exception.
That's one thing Dayon says many times, and he's correct. The Coach Sampson lets the game dictate how he's going to do some things, but yeah, when there's a a mismatch advantage for Houston, they will exploit it and run it the same play over and over again to the other team, makes them change it. But I want to say this real quick for Let's Rage Coogs. All four of us, Let's Rage Coogs has been approved for the Big 12 tournament. Okay? All of us already. Now, I don't, we're going to share it, promote it. We're going to do things. As far as I know, our local colleagues who probably will be credentialed and approved eventually have not yet been. But we received an email from the conference office, from the Big 12 office, right, Andy? From the Big 12 office, applied. Andy applied, same day and got approved that day?
Within the 2 hours.
I applied the next day and got it approved in like an hour. So Les Rage Coogs has been approved to cover and attend the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City.
Big time. I got to talk to y'all about that when we have our meeting after, and nothing bad, but how we're going to make this thing explosive.
Sounds good, brother. And, keep in mind, we're independent. All right. So you want to support us and help us grow, become bigger and better, and help us continue covering the Cougs like only we can. Email letsragecoogs@gmail.com.
No said. Can't say it any better than that. Big thank you to everybody that has commented real quick. Go ahead. I was going to pull up a comment.
But I want to say this, and Fluff knows it, Dayon knows it, Andy knows it. Let's Rage Coogs is the original post-game show for Houston football and men's basketball. A lot of other shows have cropped up and joined the coverage of Houston athletics, but we were number one.
I wanted to pose this question. I think it's a pretty interesting and kind of fun question from C. Anthony 37 on YouTube. Who has been the most improved player this season for Houston?
That's wow. Sharp.
That'd be my answer. Yeah. Yeah. Emmanuel Sharp.
I want to say Mercy, but he don't get enough, time to really show it. But Sharp.
Yeah, I agree. Sharp for sure.
What you got, Andy?
No, I agree 100% with you guys in terms of the impact. It seems like he's putting the ball on the floor a lot more than he did in previous years, and that's good that he's putting the ball on the floor much more, because when you think about last play of the season last year, that's ultimately what kind of bit him in the butt in terms of potentially making a play for Houston that was the difference between being national champions and not. So I agree 100% with y'all.
Fluff, help have my back on this, Fluff. Have my back on this.
I got you.
Do we know Murray Stinson? Yes.
Who?
Murray Stinson. Yes, I know Murray Stinson. Yes.
Of course. Of course.
I know his son-in-law quite well, too, Mike Bidet.
Of course.
And I'll leave it at that.
Of course. Of course he does. Yes. They don't know, Chris. They don't get it. Of course.
But I will say, we probably within the next few days, we're going to announce the Guy V. Lewis Award Committee. We'll be announcing the top 25 candidates for the 2026 Guy V. Lewis Award. I'm in charge of the press release. I got the list, sent it to the webmaster for posting on the website. And once that's done, I'll send it out to all the media colleagues around the town, H-Town, and the state. And we'll go from there. And then we'll announce the 10 finalists late February, early March. And we'll have the reception April 1st Andy, you need to talk to the folks and see if they can get them become a sponsor of Let's Rage Coogs. I'll mention them to you because they are a member of the Houston Roundball Review online business directory. So maybe they want to do something for LRC as well.
Will do. Looking at E.I. Crabtree's comment from the post we put up a few minutes ago about who's the most improved, he had Milos. He put Milos. He said early season was crazy inefficient, but he's improved steadily to this point. What do y'all think?
I think he was inconsistent. Now he's just kind of being consistent. I think, from Milo's perspective.
I still think it's up and down
Yeah,
for me.
just in the conference play, he's been up and down.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I agree. But
So we're not saying that he's not. And it's so great. That's a great question, Crab, Sherry, because I was just saying earlier how he had a 16 today, but I was like, we need him to be consistent. So I mean, definitely, I just feel like Sharp has been more consistent on what he brings on a daily basis as far as productivity.
And
Even in a game like tonight, where I mean, you kind of quiet, he still put up 13 points.
Yeah.
And Lowe said after the game, he's still learning how to be that leader by example for accountability, and how to be that coach on the floor to get the guys, the newcomers, to when Houston has a 10-point lead, don't get complacent and push the lead to 15, 17, 20, rather than have it shrink down to 6 or 5. So he's learning. He's learning how to do that as well. So it's a new role for him, and playing off the ball more this year. He's adjusting to that too. A spot up shooter. I love Coach Sampson's answer regarding how Cincinnati was in drop coverage a lot today. In Milos last season, he killed teams when it went drop coverage. He did a good job of that today. TCU, how they defended Houston on Wednesday was different. They just clogged the paint when they trapped in the middle. They made adjustments. And one thing Coach said, this is in the hallway. Coach said to us, to a handful of media in the hallway, was, you can still win games without scoring in the paint. I'm saying that to some of our loyal fans. You can still win games by not scoring in the paint. That's from Coach Sampson. He knows a little bit more about the game than we do.
you can. Well, they had 26 points in the paint, so it is important to attack the paint because most of our offense comes from attacking the paint. So I get what he's saying, but you can. But yeah, I
You
get
got to
what he's
kind of
saying.
be hot though, Chris. Like you got
Yeah,
to
you got it. Yeah.
to you like he said. But the key word that coach is saying, you can.
Correct.
And see, so he said you can. That don't mean you will.
Right. That's why he still goes down
He
to
didn't never
JoJo.
say you. He
Right.
never said you will win by not scoring in the back. He said you can, but he might be saying that Coach Sampson does trolling sometimes.
Oh, no
Yeah,
question.
a
I've
lot of
known it for
trolling.
12 years. No
A
doubt.
lot of
No
trolling.
Somebody
question.
gonna watch that and go, you know what? I'm not saying nothing. I'm going. Oh, Coach Sampson, you right. That's how we do it. That's how we do
Oh,
it.
no. Because, Coach, or someone tells Coach about, I don't know if it's this show, other post-game shows, he comes out after, whatever. And sometimes in a post-game press conference, he says some things get off his chest, and we're like, where'd that come from? So, yeah, Coach, when he has a point to make, he will make it. And
And sometimes you'll get it later.
if those shots are fired at you, you'll know it. It may not be anybody but you, that person who he's taking those shots at. Oh, that's Coach. He's cut our hair, giving everybody a haircut in these 12 years of him being in charge here. And if he hasn't yet, he will. don't think you're special if you haven't received that haircut yet, because you will. I laugh at people. Some of my friends say, "Man, Coach got on you today in the press conference." Ain't nothing I heard before. So,
Right.
I've heard words between me and him off record. So, please, don't even trip.
What do you think about Crabtree's comments when in regards to Arizona? They had to keep the Wildcats out of the paint whenever they play later in February.
That's a physical team. That's a physical matchup. It's going to be a test. But it's also you got to do a job keeping Bradley and Burries out the paint. So they
That's
can
what I
beat
was
you
just gonna
inside
say,
and
Chris. That's
outside.
what I was
So
just
yeah,
gonna say. And you got that Bradley is a mid-range killer.
and when I was watching the game against BYU,
Mhm.
first half I thought it, and then Fran Fraschilla said he got the text from Kellen and said it during the game because I thought the exact same thing during the first half. Bradley reminds me of Jamal Shedd. He's a
Yes,
killer. He is a killer. He's a winner.
he's a winner. He gonna win that game. Not he ain't gonna beat us, but you know what I'm saying. he gonna he gonna he gonna find a way to win the game, man.
Yeah,
I watched that whole game versus BYU. Every
He
time they went
definitely,
to come to try to, make a little, you like, you know,
yeah, he definitely remind me of Shed. His
definitely
shot has gotten better in his last year, just like
hmm
Jamal's did. But he that quick step, his explosive step, and just he just a dog. Certain things you can't really teach a coach, and
yeah,
he got it. Yeah,
for
and,
sure.
and he has that ability to hush the crowd on the road, to do something to the road crowd, to the when Zona's on the road to shut them up. A clutch bucket, a clutch three, something, a pull up in the paint, whatever. That young man is a winner.
For sure.
So if Houston plays Zona the second time in Indianapolis, that's fine. Whatever. Because only one time in the regular season. Might be twice. Second time in Kansas City. We'll see.
Or Chris, like you said last week, Indianapolis.
But yeah,
Indianapolis.
so we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. The last game in last Monday of the season. That's fine too. Oh, boy, that'd be a hell of a game. A lot of freshman talent on that floor. Arizona got talented freshmen, so does Houston.
That being said, talking about Arizona score check on their game, they were able to they built up an 11-point lead. They're leading 75-64 over the Sun Devils with 3:46 left to play. So it looks like they're assuming they're able to hang on, are about to improve to 22-0 and 9-0 in Big 12 play. So,
And that game is on TNT.
yep, they're executing at a very, very high level. It continues.
Game was tied at halftime, and they're
Mhm.
stretched it out now. Lead by 13. 3 minutes left.
As for the Houston side here, inside of the Fertitta Center, the Cougars come away with the 76-54 victory over the Bearcats. Ronald Uzan led Houston in scoring, and he actually led all scorers in the game with 16 points, 5 assists, only 1 turnover. Like I said at the top of the show, Houston had 3 different players with 13 points. Chris Anak, Emmanuel Sharp, and Isaiah Harwell. Kingston Flemings and Mercy Miller had 7 points each. And ultimately, Houston improves to 19-2 overall record, and they improved to 7-1 in their Big 12 record.
And got UCF up next Wednesday
So
here.
Wednesday, Fertitta Center at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. tip-off.
So that's going to be a challenge. I mean, UCF came here and won on game day a few years ago, and
I remember that.
but should be a good one. Battle of the boards. UCF is a great rebounding team. They're physical, and they got young man, a transfer. Themis Folks. He's playing very, very well. He led them in scoring today in the win over Texas Tech. He had 21, 7, and 3 in their win. I mean, Texas Tech shot 56% today and lost by 8
That's unheard of.
because UCF outscored them 21-5 in second chance points. So rebounding, whoever wins
essential.
Wednesday, the battle of the boards and second chance points, Cougs and UCF probably going to win the game. Some UH fans are saying Houston isn't a Final Four team this year. Huh. Okay.
They said that we're not.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see. We shall see.
But I'm curious. I mean, there's some very good teams in college basketball this year.
One thing you got to remember about that time of the year is no matter how good you are in March Madness, your adjustment. I mean, I won't talk about this person today, but I just had a game like that in a younger level. Is how good you are and how many adjustments you're able to make as a coaching staff are two different things. The mixture of the two, and do you really have an identity? So the mixture of the three is going to be who's going to be in the mix when it comes to March Madness. It's not about how good you are in March Madness. Can you make quick turnaround adjustments? You know, you play this team today, you win, you beat them, you got to play this team in 2 days. Can you prepare for the game on a snap and be ready to execute the new game plan that you might have wouldn't have had if you was in conference play or you was in, you know, those tournaments in the beginning of the year? Can you make on the fly adjustments and a quickly and doing it quickly before the next game? Can you do that? Those are going to be the teams that are going to be in the mix. Not what team has the better guy, got a better handle, better shot, better. After adjustments, man, it's going to be wicked. Can you make those adjustments and still stay yourself and win?
And
So
that's one thing I agree. That's one thing Coach Sampson and the staff have done a great job of preparing quickly to
yeah.
the next opponent. And we'll see how. Crabtree says it. Zona, UConn, Michigan, Duke, Iowa State, Illinois, Florida. He didn't say Nebraska. Nebraska impressed me playing well while they did on the road without two of their best players earlier in the week. So there's some good teams, some very good teams. The 1 seed and 2 seeds, it's going to be a battle,
Yeah.
and then you have the 3 seeds out there like a BYU. Didn't even say Texas Tech. This tournament could
There are
be
going to be a lot of teams.
tremendous. Yeah.
A lot of teams that could win and make a run.
I mean, there are probably 8 to 10 teams that could win the championship this year.
Yeah.
But Chris, going back to that original comment for me at Crabtree, because they're so loaded, like there's going to be, think of all those teams, there's going to be some teams that don't even, come close.
Yeah.
Because of how deep it is, and you'll have people saying, "See, I knew it. They weren't that good." I'm like, well,
it's
there's
a
just
tournament. It's matchups. It's health. It's part of it is
some of it's luck, the way the ball
the
bounces.
way the ball bounces. It's a one and done tournament, man.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is beat that team you facing one time. It's not a
Coach
series.
understands that very well.
Just got to beat that team one time. Arizona looks like they're the best team in the country right now. And honestly, if it was a 7-game series, I probably would pick Arizona to beat Houston 4 out of 7. But I only got to do it once. Come Final Four. That's it. That's all that matters. And Keaton Vogler, freshman at Illinois, he's playing great and was an unsung boy. A Kansas City area kid, and K-State didn't get him. Didn't even recruit him. And look at him now, playing shine at Illinois. But yeah, UH is getting better. Offensively, I think this team still has room for improvement. Defense, got to be consistent, playing Cougar defense. Need consistent effort from Khalifa Sacco. Coach kind of hinted, he said it really, that he's trying to keep Khalifa build up his confidence. He's finally getting healthy again after injuring his knee and having that setback starting over again. He kind of lost some of his confidence. But there are still areas of improvement for Khalifa, for JoJo, for Emmanuel, for Chris, for Kingston. Kingston's defense is getting better.
Yeah.
So that's a positive as well going forward. So there's a lot of different ways and areas for this team to improve, and they're 19-2, and still getting better. I'll take that.
As we begin to wrap things up here on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, a big thank you once again to today's sponsors on the show, with Steve Saxenian, the primary sponsor of this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Big thank you to Mike and Jennifer Pittman as well with Star Pizza Houston. Right now, once we go off air, we'll get a chance to enjoy thoroughly the Star Pizza that they delivered here inside the Fertitta Center. So big thank you again, with multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. Check them out online at starpizza.net. Their social media platform, Star Pizza HOU on X, Star Pizza Houston, Texas on Instagram. And when you go to any one of the locations, tell them that you heard about them here on Let's Rage Coogs. To borrow Chris's mantra, Coogs helping Coogs. Let them know that you heard about them here on Let's Rage Coogs.
Fluff, as a player, Joe Mendez question, you could answer this. When would we say that Houston freshmen in general are not considered freshmen anymore? Is it February?
February, man. You're a big boy now. February. Right now. Top of February. February 1st. Big dog. Now. Yeah. February. I agree with you, Chris.
Dizzy Busy, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. And you could see,
Thank you, guys.
for Texas Tech, that was a great game, and their fans joined the conversation last Saturday. Cincinnati fans, I think they're kind of probably down in the dumps because Bearcat basketball is not where they want it to be. Because years ago, Bearcat, would come on and talk, comment and stuff. I used to have
really?
Bearcat media reach out to me to be on some of their podcasts. I don't hear from them anymore. So, hey, disappointment. Coach Miller hasn't gotten it done up to their standards that they expected and want to see from him. But that's their issue. Houston Cougars under Kelvin Sampson. Fluff.
That's right.
Dayon said it, and I think, get your thoughts on this as we wind it down and get ready for BYU Kansas. Do you agree? It is not a guarantee once Coach Kelvin Sampson steps away from head coach that the program will be as successful as it is right now with coach in charge.
It's not a guarantee. No. I mean, I don't think it's a guarantee. We're hoping so.
I mean, this is a special time, and that's no slight again on Kellen. But let's enjoy what we're seeing right now in this new golden era of Houston Cougars men's basketball.
Yes, sir. If you get a chance, world, and you have a brother, or if you play Division I basketball at a high level, and you got a brother or you got a sister that is long lost, and you can't get in contact with them, and you love them, because you remember, never forget, college athletes spend every day together. So no matter what, if you have cousins that you grew up with your whole life, you will never spend as much time with them consistently like a basketball team does on a Division I level. So what I mean consistently is wake up, somebody's around you, go to the gym, somebody's around you, practice, film, get on the plane in the morning, fly there, hotel, whatever it is, game, getting cussed out, running, preseason. You're spending every day. You probably don't see that person one time. Study hall, class with each other. Saying that to say, if you have a chance, please, 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 just for your life, if you had any camaraderie with a group of people, please go and watch Houston Cougars 30 for 30. Please, man. And it'll give you some real insight on what Division I basketball is supposed to feel like and how a brotherhood is supposed to be at your university and alma mater. Check out 30 for 30, 5 Slammer Jammer.
Yes, sir.
And I want to give a shout out to those Elm City Elite boys. We don't play with New Jersey. We don't play with New York. We don't play with Philadelphia. We don't play with Delaware. We don't play with anybody. You're going to have to lace your boots when you come mess with the Mound City Elite boys. Pros make pros.
Yes, sir.
Never forget that. D1 athletes make D1 athletes. And people around those D1 athletes that listen, they can make D1 athletes too. Shouts to my guy Dayon. Hit me all the time. Yo, what I need to do? I'm trying to get it right. What I got to do? So hard work pays off. I know I'm long-winded. Just on my heart to talk. Hard work pays off, man. And listen, to young people out there, girls and boys, all the days that you're working out and you're going to games and doing whatever you're doing, it only equals to one career and one opportunity to get the most out of it. So all these days, all these games, all the AAU tournaments, all the college games, all the high school games, all the middle school games, they only equal to one career, to one opportunity to make it the best splash you could make it. Shouts to the Cougars. We're on our way. If you're sleeping on us, then you're dreaming. Okay? And we're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna keep winning. And we got the best coach in America. And we're gonna figure it out. And we rather you sleep on us than to be ready for us. So if you think we ain't going to the Final Four, whoop-de-doo. Let's see what happens. All right? And we're gonna keep playing. But we ain't ducking no smoke. Go Cougs. That's what I got today, guys.
Well
That's
said,
what I
brother.
got.
Well said.
Well said. Well said. You want to go next, Chris?
Oh, yeah, I go nuts. Yeah, it's hard to wrap that up, man. hard to follow that. But
Sorry, man. Listen, I just love the game, man. I'm so, like people might think whatever basketball, like I have to wait till I come out with my book. I'm coming out with a book in the next year or so, but like basketball really saved my life, so I feel a little different about it. It's paid my bills my whole life. It's made my family live in a nice area and not have to be in poverty. Like basketball, basketball is everything to me. So I get a little passionate almost every time. Whether we on a podcast or in the gym or watching the game, whatever it is. I'm extremely blessed and thankful that this game came into my life, and definitely the Cougars for giving me a second chance. So that's it though, Chris. I'm done for today. My bad, man.
no problem at all, brother. No worries whatsoever. I'm KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Round Bar Review. Always a pleasure talking hoops with the brothers and the family, the Coug family, Coug Nation. Join us again on Wednesday night after the Houston Cougars beat UCF. That tip is at 6 o'clock Central Time. Game on FS1.
Mm-hmm.
Support us. Let's Rage Coogs at gmail.com. Cougs helping Cougs. Once again, all four of us have been approved to cover and attend the Big 12 men's basketball tournament in Kansas City. And since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective.
That's Fluff's favorite acronym right there, or
It
not
tickled me
acronym, his
every
mantra.
yo in a good way though. Like I just like because he come with the same morale every time. He needs you to
Yeah,
understand
he's
the
perfected
last
that line.
part. He needs you to understand global. How to get it for me, Chris?
Say it again one more time, Chris. Run it back. Run it back.
Local name, global perspective.
That's so big.
It
Everybody
is.
got a local name, but what's your mindset like?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Chris. I ain't preaching today, though. I ain't doing it. Go ahead. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, anything else, Andy?
Just it. Chris said it
Andy's
all.
background is
One more
amazing.
time.
Go ahead.
Hey, I had to throw back real quick because when Let's Rage Coogs first started, or the first full season we did Let's Rage Coogs, where I was at every home game. This was my spot. It was right next to Jeremy Branham, where he wrapped up radio. And look,
It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
Fluff.
sick.
Look at
When
that
we get
red
down here,
right
you're gonna
there.
get a chance to
Look at that
see it.
red right there, man.
Yeah, when you come on down for a visit, man, you'll see.
It is
I'm kissing. I gotta take give my phone, man. I'm kissing the flow.
it's just phenomenal. The last thing I'll say, if you are interested, like Kris said, all four of us are credentialed. All four of us will be able to walk into the T-Mobile Center at Kansas City and cover your University of Houston Cougars. We need support because we're all coming from different parts of the country. And if depending on what seating is, right, Houston could be there from as early as Wednesday, I would say. I don't think, they won't be playing Tuesday. I would say as early as Wednesday, but maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It could be there all the way through Saturday. So that's a heavy trip. It's a lot of expenses. So any little thing is appreciated. Big thank you to those of you guys that have reached out and have supported in the past. But if you are new to the show and you would like to support, that's the way to do it. Or you can reach out to us individually via our platforms as well. But right there's our email, letsragecoogs@gmail.com. Big thank you to everybody, like Dayon said, that took the time tonight today, I keep saying tonight, Saturday afternoon, here to join us following Houston's big win over Cincinnati. And we'll be back on Wednesday night after Houston and UCF, everything that happens in that game.
Yeah, just second what Andy said. Reach out to us via email, letsragecoogs@gmail.com. Appreciate all the constant support. Good dub today. Guys are just getting better week by week, game by game, month by month. And like Fluff said, if you sleep on us, we're gonna be your nightmare. We're gonna wake you up.
That's the one.
And so yeah, we're gonna put the nation on notice as the months continue to turn, the games continue to turn. So let's keep stacking. And yes, we got the best coach, Go Samson. We right behind you, 10 toes down, Go Samson. As always, go Cougs.